Swedish with Joanna, a podcast for beginners. Hello everyone and welcome back to the podcast. Hej allihopa och välkomna tillbaka till podden. Today we're going to talk about one of the best parts of Swedish culture. Food! Idag ska vi prata om en av de bästa delarna av svensk kultur. Maten. Idag ska vi prata om en av de bästa delarna av svensk kultur. Maten. We'll go through some traditional Swedish dishes. Dishes? And words related to meals. Vi kommer att gå igenom några traditionella svenska maträtter och ord som handlar om måltider. Vi kommer att gå igenom några traditionella svenska maträtter och ord som handlar om måltider. Swedish food is often simple, but it has a lot of history and tradition. So let's begin with some common Swedish dishes. And the first dish I think most of y'all have heard about before. Meatballs. Köttbullar. Köttbullar. It's a Swedish classic. Usually it's served with potatoes, either cooked or mashed, brown sauce and lingonberry jam. We also have herring, which in Swedish is called sill. Sill. Herring. Sill. Pickled fish, very common during midsummer, Christmas and Easter. Basically, it's very common to eat sill during the holiday seasons. And as already mentioned, we of course have potatoes. Potatis. Potatis. Potatoes. Potatis. A staple in Swedish cooking, boiled, mashed or baked. We also have cured salmon, which in Swedish is called gravad lax. Gravad lax. Cured salmon. Gravad lax. It's salmon cured with salt, sugar and dill. Another traditional dish is pea soup. And I know it sounds strange when I say it in English like this, but in Swedish it's called ärtsoppa. 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 It's a thick yellow soup made from peas, often eaten on Thursdays. And of course, in Sweden we also have pancakes. Pannkakor. Pancakes. Pannkakor. Compared to British or American pancakes, the Swedish ones are usually thinner, much thinner. They're sweet and often served with jam and whipped cream. Another traditional Swedish dish is called Janssons frestelse. Janssons frestelse. In English, I think it would be something like Janssons temptation. It's a creamy casserole made with potatoes, onions, anchovies and cream. In Sweden, we usually eat Janssons frestelse during the Christmas holiday or Christmas celebrations, mostly on Christmas Day. Another traditional Swedish dish, I think in English you would call it potato pancake or something like that. In Swedish it's called raggmunk. Raggmunk. It's fried potato pancake served with lingonberries and pork. Another dish is fermented herring. Fermented herring. In Swedish it's called surströmming. This is a famous dish from northern Sweden with a very strong smell. And when I say very strong smell, I really mean that surströmming, fermented herring, the smell is so disgusting, guys. Most foreigners or tourists who comes to Sweden who wants to try surströmming, they can't handle it. And me, as a Swede, I don't eat surströmming, fermented herring. I think I never had it in my entire life, and I'm in my mid-30s now. I've just smelled it once and I just decided that day I will never have it because it's a very special smell. And actually, to be honest with you, I'm not sure, but I think it's not that common anymore that Swedes are eating fermented herring. Maybe our elderlies are eating it sometimes. Well, I can't speak for all the Swedes, I can only speak for myself, but if I'm allowed to guess, I don't actually think that most Swedes these days eat fermented herring. Nor do I think that they like it, to be honest. Alright, let's move on to mealtime words in Swedish. Like breakfast, frukost. Breakfast, frukost. A breakfast or frukost in Sweden are usually light. It can be sandwiches, eggs or yogurt. The next word we have lunch, which in Swedish is pronounced lunch. 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 Usually a warm meal, eaten around noon. Next word is for dinner, and in Swedish that is middag. Middag. Dinner. Middag. Just a note here, when I'm pronouncing the word middag, I am skipping the G, because the word is spelled M-I-D-D-A-G. So you could pronounce it middag. Middag. But depending on your accent and where you're from, either the Swedes are pronouncing it middag or middag. The last word is for evening meal or supper, which in Swedish we call kvällsmat. Kvällsmat. Kvällsmat is a small meal before bed, often a sandwich or maybe porridge. Most dishes are made from what's available locally. Nothing fancy really, but always made with care. Well, that last part can be debatable, but jokes aside, it's very simple food, honest flavors, and that's a very Swedish thing. Alright guys, now let's practice some pronunciation. Repeat after me. Köttbullar. Köttbullar. Meatballs. Sill. Sill. Herring. Gravad lax. Gravad lax. Cured salmon. Ärtsoppa. Ärtsoppa. Pea soup. Janssons frestelse. Janssons frestelse. Janssons temptation. Raggmunk. Raggmunk. Potato pancake. Great job today everyone, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy my work and want to support the podcast, you can become a member on Patreon. On Patreon, you'll find all the vocabulary lists and transcripts for each episode. And for my Swedish listeners, if you would like to support my work, you could either become a member on Patreon, or you can also use the Swish service. You can pause the video and scan the QR code right now if you want to send me a tip, or you can use the Swish number in the description. That's all for me today, guys. Keep practicing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Hej då.